We're getting ready.
Be praised to whom all praise are due is the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated Women Auxiliary presents Empress Sadi Saunders.
Greetings. Greetings, everyone. Greetings and thanks to everyone who was able to make it in the studio this evening. And we want to thank our 1 million guests who's outside of the studio listening on at the same time that we are here. So we want to really, really give a special warm Sunday greeting because in this side of town where we are, in New York City, we are blanketed with white, white. We are whiter than snow right about now, and we are about 3 to 4 feet in it. Places promised about 6 feet, even 19 feet. We are in studio. We are warm. We are cozy. We are in somebody's houses, but we are just having a good time all the same. Some people are caught up in transit. Sometimes the flight didn't make it because of, you know, really bad weather. So caught up sometimes in transit. But here I am coming to you live and alive. This is Sadie Gomez of the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated. And as usual, you know what we do here in the Sunday. We look at the news, we examine it, and sometimes we put it right back under the rug. But in this case, it's 2026. We're promising that most things that we examine is definitely going back under the rug. Because we have a new one now, 2026. It's a larger size rug, which fit a lot more things. So one day we will revisit the rug and we will really archive some information. Today, we're just happy to be alive. We want to give the Almighty thanks and praises for one more day spared life in the standing mercies. Well, some of us did not make it this morning, and we are watching the conditions outside. And by the evening time or night time, we will hear of a lot of other people who did not make it. But in this sort of weather,
The boy.
really, really dramatic weather, we are seeing for
No.
that we are seeing for ourselves such a great snowstorm. It's almost demonic. It's like really beating upon us. It's almost looking like a judgment time. But who am I to say? We just examine things. But in watching up the snowstorm and the various activities of the weather, I'm running through some clips to know, well, what's going on? What can we do? And I saw a clip rather, was taken in Chicago where 3 pigeons were frozen stiff. Now, they were in that crouched position as pigeons normally do. And the guy, he was filming, he simply passed and touched them and said, look what has happened in Chicago. And he touched them and they all fall over like a brick, or like a wooden pigeon, sort of. And this is what, or how terrible the weather can be. No one is allowed outside today unless you're planning to be sick or dead. It's really, really bad. It's quite beautiful, however, when you can look from your window or someone else's window and you see outside in the street and the beauty of nature. But we also see the terror of nature because if you go out there undressed or underdressed for more than 2 to 3 minutes, you know what can happen. You too would be frozen stiff like that bird we spoke about. So that's what's happening as far as happening. But there's so much more happening, especially as we know 2026 is the year 10, and 10, it's the completion. Last year, the year 2025, was a year of nine, where a lot of things were revealed unto us. Year of nine, also the year 2025, if we say relate to the Chinese calendar last year, it was the year of the snake. So we ask, what does the snake do when we examine how things go? So we see the wisdom of the serpent, and we see that the serpent is also feared, no matter if this snake is poisonous or not. From the time someone says snake, the story changes. And we also know the story in the Bible as well about that snake. So we examined the snake in our life, and we saw that 2025 was a year whereby things were cleared away because the snake, that's what it does as it passes, or even its presence. It can clear a room real fast if a snake should appear. So we see that sort of clearance, but yet we wonder clearance for what? It was almost making the path clear, but for what? So we have entered into 2026, and we see it's the year 10. 10 being 1 and a 0. 0 having no value as such in this sense. So we are seeing the year 1. It is a start over, and it is the reset that we have spoken about for so long. When we spoke about how things are changing, that we are waking up, we are having, you know, we are way past Black Lives Matter right now. We are just getting into just matters of things. It has been a case now, 2026. 2026 being the year 10, and also in the Chinese calendar, it is the year of the horse. The year of the horse. The nature of the horse, everything will be galloping really quickly in 2026. So if you know for 2026, everything is going to be heightened and speed up, almost like the things that we were waiting for to happen, like in a long wait for things to happen, it's going to be sped up so much so in a revelation that we can really know of the change. The change and the reset is going to be so profound that one is unable to say they have not felt it, seen it, or be impacted by it in some way. So we watching the regular things in our lives, first of all, because we examine the changes. For most of us who wants to keep it real, they would see that in January of only less than just about 26 days, you have seen great impact upon a people. Most, so let's just speak of Caucasian people. Or if my language is not appropriate for the YouTube, we say the white tea people, and because we want our conversation to go out and be heard. We have seen for many times a pressure upon the black people, if we can still call it that. But on this side of town where we keep it real, we're gonna say we love our niggas, but we know what that really means. And it was not a derogatory term. Actually, it was a term of royalty. But you know how things can get tainted in some places. So that was some milk gone bad because they threw some vinegar in it. So all of a sudden nigger becomes something derogatory. And really, in the right way and sense, it was actually a royal greeting. But that's a conversation for another day. But we're going ahead with how we like to do it on this Sunday. You know, we are loose lips and fancy hips. So we say, niggas are getting a break. We are watching a certain situation as the year unfolds. And a few days, I'm saying it's days into the year, we have not even reached the 30th day yet. And there's a really big difference in energy in the atmosphere of Minneapolis. We are just watching the special state and wondering what is the state of affairs really? So we have not just selected the state to pounce on, as we normally do. We pounce, we tear, we rip, we have the kind of high inner behavior when we hit methods and madness and movements. But we are looking at Minneapolis simply because there seemed to be terror in Minneapolis. But I had a good friend of mine was not the same place that down the street around the corner that George Floyd was taken away. And the answer was yes. So we are going to help you and my lovely listening audience, 1 million of you outside, in case you haven't know or noticed that there has been 3 killings in Minneapolis. Or sorry, 2 killings and one unpleasant situation that involve ICE. Now, ICE is an agency that has been used to round up the illegals in America, those that have mainly committed crimes and has outstanding warrants to be returned to their home, which would be somewhere outside of America or anywhere that they see fit that they can throw you. I guess it just depends on the color of the skin, you know. So some of us are definitely going to go to Africa, and I definitely hope that Ethiopia is part of their places they're sending people as well. So that will just be a free trip for some people. But for the others, who we know, we cannot just take it lightly because other people who are not on that outstanding list of being criminal or being illegal, in a matter of fact, they were born here and there's no other place they can go. But based on the color of their skin, sometimes you could be differentiated accordingly by various eyes. So the standard to be kept is, who are you? So now it's unfortunate to have a color skin whereby you just look like an African. So, I mean, come on, you're going back to Nigeria, or you just came from Grenada or some small part of the Caribbean. But that one really hurt the Caribbean people too much if they finally go to Africa because they were trying to go there for a long time. But we are looking at other people who mistakenly seem to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. We are looking at Minneapolis where 2 YT, one male, one female, was simply gunned down by ICE. Now, the reason being, the first situation, the woman apparently was following ICE all day long. And I don't know if they got fired for her because, that can happen. You get triggered off, oh my God, why is she following me? Whoa, let's kill her. But it's not a situation at all where it's a case of aggravation. ICE agency, I am sure it was created, was meant to do well and very well, whereby you're keeping your country safe from the bad people, illegal immigrants who commit crimes, really rape, murders, and treacherous crimes. They should be returned to their country just to keep this country, America, safe because the perpetrators that come and damage your country, who's going to like it? It comes like you have your home and you invited 3 visitors, and then they suddenly took over your home and destroy everything around it and the people around it. Who's going to like that? So we look at the country as home for most of us, and we're seeing that we would rather be safely while we are home. So safety being a really important factor on the agenda. So you see the ICE agencies and you're like, okay, good. What the police gonna do and the soldiers gonna do, ICE is surely gonna do because it's keeping the country safe. So you get relaxed for a while because my gosh, somebody gotta fix the problem here. But we know when we examine things, as we do on the side, the first scary thing is when you see someone is coming to arrest someone and they're wearing a mask on their face. It's like, this is just straight up gangster. Because I can't even see who is arresting me. I'm not able to talk or communicate. But I'm being shoved to the ground, handcuffed, and Lord knows where they're taking me. So immediately there'll be some sort of reaction to this sort of madness because you're being snatched by a group of people. You cannot see their faces. They're in battle gear. And that is one thing you know for sure. Whenever you see the camouflage or the army fatigue, you just know it's war. because our mind is conditioned to know regular men don't walk around the street with camouflage, although it's quite stylish. But once you see battle gear, you think of war and you think of the delicate situation of you being a civilian, you up against 7 or 8 men in camouflage with your faces covered and these long rifles. You're going to react. Either you're going to react in fear, whereby you look to run away, or you will do something quite different because of the emotion you are sure to want to react. So we are watching a case of ICE. They came into Minneapolis, and the way they have triggered a lot of attention in the case of having 2 deaths, it's quite remarkable because now we are seeing that the second death, or rather murder, quite cliche, we don't know for sure, because they said this guy, the reason for him being alive, he had a gun. And all we saw was a cell phone. But my engineer would play the video a little later on, and you all would join in and to see what happened. I look at the video from several different angles because it was shown to us from several different angles. I cannot justify the killing or condemn or condone. I don't even know which way to go with it. Because first of all, when I look at the video, I'm trying to figure out how he got shot. Because the melee and the madness, I had to look at 5 times before I see who had the gun, who was the ICE officer, who hand pulled the trigger in a situation that mayhem and madness one can hardly tell. So the video has been playing several times until after my 5th time, I finally got it. But still, there was no way that I seen this victim, I should say, had a gun. Although maybe he had a gun and they took it away from him, or he had no gun, or he had a cell phone. But then, haven't we not heard this before in our town, whereby a man only had a lighter and he was recklessly grabbed and killed? And we have seen a guy, a kind of fattish guy, somewhere in Far Rockaway, Queens. He was only selling the newspaper when he was wrestled to the ground by some authorities and he too was killed. And we can go on and on and on and on because our story is that story. But 2026, in the year one, oh my God, things have certainly changed. We are going to see a presence that we have not seen before. And I'm telling you, for my smart listeners who listen on this side, you know what I'm saying. It will only take another few months before it is absorbed into your system. And you will say, oh my gosh, I saw it on that program, the Sadie Sunday show. But we over here, we bang out and everything. So we like to bring the news before the news because that's what we do on this side of town. So white people, or the white tea people, or whatever they like to be called at this time, since the tables have turned, they will find themselves being unalive more and more by their own. And that's prophecy. And the best part about it? We don't care. You know why we don't care? Because we have been down that road before. And who cared? No one. So now, for my NIGGA, I am saying you can simply relax, go to your barbecues, and know it's not happening to you. Because the time has come where we have marched, we have sing, we have put up our hands, we have flashed the fists, we have cried over our dead children, fathers, brothers, sisters. We were told to call their names. We called their names while we marched, and still we've killed daily. And who fixed it? No one. Because Israel have to know that their disobedience had a judgment. But our loving Father, who is merciful, because He alone has mercy, He has given us a time whereby we too will be delivered. And the delivery date has come. Because we have been laboring for quite a while, and we waited for that day, and we hope that we didn't miscarry, and that we'll bring the baby home. And the day has come. Let us relax in 2026, knowing that something else is happening to people and not us. Not to say we will have a drive-by here and there, but the atmosphere is, as the days go by, you will see that white people cannot understand why white people are killing white people. But we can understand because we have been at the hand of the beast for far too long. But we had to get on our knees and return to our Heavenly Father. For He alone is able. And we are in this period where waking up meant returning to our former state of affairs. For how has the fine gold gone dim? We were once kings and queens, but for disobedience, we had to go through our lamentations. And for those of us who have seen the both sides of the coin, we can safely say, at this point, I do miss Dr. Robinson. Where's Dr. Robinson? We can safely say there was something called strange fruits at one time. And for strange fruits, we didn't know it was bananas or apples or grapes, but it was by NIGGAS hanging on trees, and nobody cared. So right now, we don't care. We really don't. Because we don't have to. For once in our time, we don't have to. It's not us. When we were crying and wondering about police brutality, it was our problem. So now you know what? It's their problem, not ours. We are quite comforted with the fact that they are able now to see themselves who they really are. You know, when you start to look at the man in the mirror, it's the best place you can find your solace. It's very important that for each and every one of us, and my 1 million viewers, you take a time to look at the man in the mirror and wonder what he is doing. And then, and only then, you'll have answers. Because what is happening and what has happened has caused us to examine ourselves, examine our neighbors, and examine the general consensus of what do we do when such pain has affected a people. At the moment, in Minneapolis, the governor is asking that the ICE agency leave town now. ICE is no welcome in Minneapolis. And to further justify this, or highlight the situation, the marching has taken place. The streets of Minneapolis, people are marching. I understand from a video, and I don't know if it's AI, because you know how we have to be so careful with these extra generated from these other people. And I'm just telling you, people, AI is not robust. They're the fallen angels, but we do that show next week. How about that? So we are just seeing that in Minneapolis, I saw a video whereby 500 police were sent on the streets. But how do 500 police control 50,000 civilians who has no interest but to find out why one citizen was killed? So for this little part, I will let my wonderful viewers weigh in. I want to welcome to the show my wonderful listening audience. I want to welcome Shiloh on the show, who has always been with us. You would only miss the time if it's snowing, but there's not much snowing in his world this time. I guess he's inside, tucked away somewhere. And I would like to welcome our engineer Charlie, who without Charlie, nothing could go on. I mean, nothing. You know, Charlie's the brainchild behind the show. I'm just a big mouth. But you know, brains and mouth works together because you have to engage brain before you do mouth. And that's a little lesson for today. People take that. So I would like to welcome my audience to share within and this time. I will pause for a moment before we get into it at this time. So welcome each and everyone to the show. I want to say hello to my Trini audience. You know, big up Trini, big up my sister Donna, my sister Khadijah, and all my peoples. Okay, so I would like for my audience to wait and I'll come right back at you. So pleasant good evening and welcome to the Sadie Sunday Show, which is also your show. It's the Woman Auxiliary, Local 26. We are happening right here and right now. We love the Ethiopian Women's Federation, Local 26. We are doing this the way and this is what we do. So welcome.
Greetings and welcome of love and respect and honor every time, Yeah, it's a pleasure being on the show again. Yes. And I would like to weigh in on the happenings and certain situations. Yeah, concerning that situation in Illinois, you know, um, when I was growing up as a child, I observe a lot of things, but when I see what is happening in the US today, it kind of breaks my heart. Because the bad picture they paint about communism, communism, has a lot of evil in it, and I wasn't looking to see that evil show its head in America. America has always been the place of equal rights and justice and the home of the brave and the free. So we look forward to like a more social, economical, better lifestyle in America. But when I see what is happening right now, it reminds me of communism. Communism is the only state that uses their army and their civilians, and that's really a evil in my sight. No, I'm seeing it in America. I can't believe it. Yeah, it's so hard to believe, but it's here. America is a nation that does not embrace communism, but it seems as if they are embracing their tactics and their style, and it doesn't seem, to have a good outlook on the country. For instance, what is happening now? I agree with the president, and we don't want no violent criminal in our country. We want people who can help build this country and people who we can give account of their history and their record. You understand? But I think they are doing this thing the wrong way, right? There are good immigrants and bad immigrants. So I think they should try to design a better system and a better way of dealing with it. Separating people from their children and families, that's not the right way to do it. That creating more chaos and more, I would say violence and more evil. Yes. For instance, what is happening in Illinois there, not right. And I am thinking and wondering which way America is going right now. Although it's not my problem as a black man. We have more problem to think about as a black man, right? Our black people. But when you look and see that it is the double P who they are doing it to, you have to think again and wonder what is happening or where are we going? Is this the land of the home of the free and brave or land of the liberty? America looks out for people. America does not destroy people. You understand? All the people in the world are running to America for safety. I agree, our borders have been neglected, and there are better ways of doing it than how they are doing it right now. You understand? The way they are doing it right now is degrading America's history and America's legacy. Yes, these people who have been killed, they are not criminals. You can't do humanity like that. You just go out and kill people like that. What can one person do to so much of them? And they are not armed. They are not armed. These people are here looking for a better life. So we got to find a better way and a better system of doing this immigrational thing. You know, yeah, it look ugly for America. America. I remember when Ronald Reagan said to Brezhnev, tear down this wall. We are a divided people right now. We are a divided nation. This is not a united nation anymore. We're divided, man, and it's so ugly. It's not right. Not right at all. But anyway, I want to say something about these reporters who are reporting all kind of things and all kind of that, and they are not reporting the real good things that is happening in Africa, in Burkina Faso. Africa is making so much progress for its people and its nation, and it's not been televised nor broadcast. You understand? So you see what we are going through as black people. We, the black people of the world, have been so neglected and ill-treated. Why is not these news of goodliness being established all over the world? So the world can see that Africa is moving in a glorious and a progressive way. You know, the politics and religion, these things mashing up the world, man. Real. No joke about that. We got to do something better right now. I yield my case there. Blessed love.
Listen,
Listen, if
thank
I
you,
would be
sir.
allowed to chime in, I think that I agree with the brother Shiloh, and to the point where there is a problem. There has been a problem at the border, right? Um, but the way that it's being handled is unacceptable. You know, I told somebody, if you do the facts, if you do the numbers, do we know what president got rid of more immigrants than Trump?
Obama.
Obama. But you didn't hear of the carnage, right? So you didn't
Right.
hear of the disrespect. You didn't hear of the abuse. You didn't hear of any of these things that we hear about now, because it was done according to the law, and it was done according to those who had broken the law. You don't hear about none of this crazy stuff until Trump was in office. They got the kids in cages. They done separated the families, right? They got the kids sleeping in with little aluminum foils over them and all kind of nonsense like that. They never see their parents again. You know, all kind of craziness. That happens under an administration, and that happens under a group of people who do not care about humanity. There is no feelings within them to connect them to the feelings of their brothers' infirmities. It's not there. So they don't have it. So the brutality don't really even matter. The other thing is we have to be responsible and aware of that we're hearing what we're hearing, because what we are experiencing is, get this term, ethnic cleansing disguised as immigration control. Okay? Let's be very clear. What we're witnessing is ethnic cleansing. This is all of a part of getting rid of everybody that do not look like them. White tea. Okay, this is what this is really all about. This goes along with the other laws. If you look at it, these immigration policies go right along with the abortion policies and other policies and things that they put in place, along with removing the African American achievements out of the Smithsonian, and getting rid of the civil rights law and getting rid of all of these things. This is what happens when the devil is released. But now here's the other thing that has somewhat backfired on him, and I pray that it begins to stay that way, is that we have not responded. Okay? We have not responded. We said we have not responded. We're not going out. We're not marching. We're not doing none of these things. All right, because we've been there, done that. We done. All right, we stand in the house. We're going to eat our barbecue. We're going to eat our macaroni and cheese. We're going to eat our peas and rice. And we're going to be happy because we tried to tell y'all, and we've been telling y'all from the beginning what it was going. We knew what it was going to be like if that man got back in office. Okay? We knew it. We saw it coming. So, yes, we don't have the empathy. We don't have the empathy that we've had in the past that you've never had for us. Okay? We used to have that empathy, but we don't have it now. Now, here's what has happened. Since the monster has been released, it's starting to backfire. Since we're not out in the street, they got to kill somebody. So they're shooting little white girls that say, I'm not mad at you. Bang. They shot her. Okay, that was her last words. I am not mad at you. And they assassinated her and recorded it on their iPhone like they was making a freaking TikTok.
What heart?
So this is where we're at now with it. We're experiencing this ethnic cleansing. That's what this is really all about. These people that they're arresting in ICE, they're not criminals. They're not. We was with it. Well, I was never with it, but those that supported it say they supported it because it was a promise of getting rid of the drug dealers, getting rid of the rapists, getting rid of all those things.
That backfired, right?
Listen, they got to get rid of the drug dealers and the rapists because it's giving the school mass shooters competition. Since they're all white. You follow me?
I'm saying, come to New York, be a sanctuary city. We do what we want over here. Well, you know what is happening as well? We saw quite different in contrast to when ICE came to Brooklyn after the Haitian people. You know how that turned out?
Right, yeah, that didn't turn out good.
We sure.
It didn't even turn out good when they was up on Canal Street messing with the Asian vendors. That didn't turn out good for them.
Oh, no. Not at all.
So we have been very strong, and all of those that's under the sound of my voice, man. I encourage us. Let's continue to stay out of that fight. Let's continue to stay out of this because they're looking for us. They're looking for a reason. They're looking for a reason to put in the Insurrection Act. They're looking for a reason to do martial law. They put in the Insurrection Act, it's a wrap. Because with the Insurrection Act, what that means is you will not have any rights.
No.
You will not have any due diligence. Okay? You won't have your day in the court. Forget your one phone call. Forget, where's my lawyer? Ain't no, all of that's out the window.
Uh-huh.
And this is what they're pushing for. So we've done good. We know, but we know the game. We know these people. We know this devil. So we were prepared. I'm saying, hold our guns.
After 400 years, we have learned the program, haven't we? Because we have been done so many times before.
Listen, so many times before. We knew what was going to happen. Not one black person surprised Trump is doing what he's doing. You always you are surprised when things happen that you expected. We expected these things. We expected him to behave exactly how he is behaving. We expected him to do the things in the law exactly how he is doing them. He told us from the beginning, it does not matter. I can stand in the front of the street and shoot somebody down. I will not lose support. Okay? Because his support is not based on law. It's not based on rights. It's not based on anything but the support of white supremacy. So long as he's giving white people the courage and the okay to be racist, to be mad against other nationalities, he's going to get their support. And he knows this. So it don't matter what he do. But now that they don't start shooting white people, that's the dynamic they had not factored in. We didn't factor in little Susie Whitebread getting shot. We ain't factored in the white boy getting shot out there. Now the other white boy, he in the last riot, I forget his name, but he got away with shooting 2 people, so he could kill 2 white people that were supporting blacks. Right? Kyle Rittenhour. So he shot 2 white people. But these 2 white people that he happened to shoot were supporting black people. So that's okay. You can kill them white people. They're indisposable. Right. So let's see what they do with this new group of deceased Caucasians.
Well, what has definitely happened is they're so shocked and in awe the fact that it has happened. How could it be? This is something that we do to the other people. This is not something we do to ourselves. So now they're trying to process how has the tables turned. And they has no control over the tables turning because when you look around that area, there's none of us. If you look at the marching situation, it's all white. You all are not invited, people. You all are not invited to that barbecue. So we are seeing a case where we are being left out, intentionally left out, because some other force higher than us has covering us, has got us. We are seeing a change. And the change is this is something of where what goes around comes around. The hands, brutality, and people, which is the white people, there has no real empathy towards our pain because it just didn't matter. Shoot them down, who cares? It did not matter. But as Charlie said, once you heard that little Susie got caught up in it, and she was only 3 years old, and she was so cute, we decide now it's an unjustified killing. But if it was Shakina down the road or some other name of the people living somewhere near Jasmine Crockett's building, we would know it never mattered at all because, they're only 3/4 human or is it 3/5? What is it? Did we move up? I don't know. But it didn't matter. It didn't matter. But now, this is biblical. This is how do you stop it? It cannot be stopped. And what we have to understand, every president that rules and reigns for his period has an agenda, not one of his own, but what has been placed on him. Obama was placed there to justify the gay marriage, and we know that, although we tried to see how best we could blink it away, but that was the reason. Mr. T, the trumpet, this is a wicked agenda he has, whereby you are seeing a segregation coming. Not that some of our niggas won't mind, because the last time we did Black Wall Street, we were away from them. But this is a certain time whereby they want their country. I don't care if you was born here, you go into Africa, that's it. Because the way you look like a Nigerian or you go into the Congo. Now, how do a black person that was born here defend that? Because this is the only country you know. You were born here, your parents were here, grandparents, you have never even traveled out of the state that you were born in. But yet, a group of people, ICE agents, come to you and tell you have to leave. I saw a black woman terrified when they because it was in America. And so the face, the fact that happened, being an American. So you got to wonder, am I safe? You know, what do I say? Or could I speak? Or could I be killed? But what we are understanding is the fear factor that has been killed us. And speaking of fear, we want to go a little bit deeper here because, you know, we just don't do surface around here. We have to get down. And if we should slip down the rabbit hole too fast enough, we're coming back out. But the fear factor, let's do the fear factor. Why is it a situation now that people are being made to be afraid? You think the forces that be don't know what they're doing? Ah, think again. There's something called adrenalized blood. Who know, but you know, since you're on the show, you'll find out. Adrenal blood, adrenaline, which enters into your blood when you have three certain circumstances: fright, fight, and flight. It creates a hormone when you're frightened. Like, you know, the big bad wolf is running you down, Red Riding Hood, and you're frightened. Adrenaline, a hormone in your body, goes into action. It causes you in fight, fright, and flight to have superhuman powers. Because I'm telling you, if the big bad wolf is running me down, I was scaling a wall, and that wall could be 10 feet. I'm going over there. Why? I'm so frightened, I am scaling that wall. And I even reach over because I'm frightened like crazy. So when the blood has adrenaline in it, there's certain, well, we can't even call them people, but entities upon this earth. It's a delicacy of theirs, and they must have it. It's almost like a green juice, you know, for some people who know how to health. And this is a situation where we are now entertaining other people other than ourselves. Adrenal blood is worth its price in gold because all the people among us that are living with us are not humans. I will give you a 30 seconds to absorb that. Not everyone living with us upon this earth and among us, or some of in our families, they are not human. And they must have a drink of this adrenal blood. It's like taking a smoke or something, I don't know. But the real is Donald Trump, who came from the lineage of the fallen angels, make no mistake of that, is the reason why he's in charge right now. Donald Trump is the president that has been used to introduce the fallen angels. We will wake up one day on our 6 o'clock news. You will see these large green lizard creatures, and they will tell everyone, these are now your new friendly neighbors. Try to get along with them. At first, your eyes may pop out, but as I warned you all last year, man's heart will faint to see what's coming upon the earth. Yes, man's heart will faint to see what's coming upon the earth. Not that these just arrive. These creatures have always been here with us, hence the reason for wanting Greenland. Oh, yes, I said that. Was it Iceland? I mean, I don't know. So here we are with the state of affairs. You know, we always give you all the clues and we drop it in parables, but we're going to keep it real. Adrenal blood is worth more than gold. It can only be found in victims who have experienced fright, flight, or fight. This, what we are seeing now, is purposely done. Check the news in April, we know that's the new year. It's a perfect time to drop the bomb on us. And we will be made to accept creatures, and the normalcy by which this is done is why we need Mr. Trump. I mean, the thing is so bizarre, we like even think it's not happening. We were rubbing our eyes several times, wondering if we're in a movie. No, we're not in a movie. Mr. Trump has an agenda, which is placed on him. Because, you know, the presidents of America do not run America. It's the three green men that sits there. And he has to do his job. And he must, because he was selected to do so. And after that, And after his assassination, the story just goes so much more bizarre. But when Obama comes back to rule, you already see what I'm talking about. And you heard it first here on this platform, haven't you? So that, you'll take all things in perspective and understand the purpose, the meaning, the time. Let us not be deceived by what we are seeing at the moment, but to know that what is going on is very necessary for what is to come. The mark of the beast must be introduced and must be activated and must be put in place. But how do you suddenly call a nation of 300 million people and say, okay, stretch your right hand? No matter that this is written in Revelation, but stretch your right hand either. Or if you have no right hand because someone chopped it off, we'll do it in your forehead because your head is still in your body. So, for those who don't have a right hand, we can't use the left, because we need a right or your forehead. It's written in the book of Revelation, isn't it? Well, it must be introduced. It must be performed. It must be true. Because in the book of Psalm 19, his word have gone out throughout the line, and everyone knows that the day of man will take unto their own and lean unto their own understanding and decide they want to chip people because now they're in control. We know where everything is and where everything is going to be because you are now placed this electron chip. But the fact about it is, we are not going to force you to take it. We are going to create such situations whereby you'll be running to us, oh my God, could you please give us this thing? Because why? You're so damn frightened that all you want is for somebody to save you. Oh my God, save me. We are not going to study the Almighty because we are too frightened. We cannot visit the Almighty in fear. So therefore, we need a Savior. And here comes Obama. I guess he might have a big O on the chest. Superman. It is coming, people. And I want you all who have paid attention, I'm going to draw you back to a place because we're petty like that. I'm going to take you back to that man's funeral. We're not calling no names because we might be in some kind of foolish trouble. But don't you see Obama and Mr. Trump was whispering in each other's ears? They were the best friends at the man's funeral, absent their wives. What do you think was going on? You think Democrats and Republicans an enemy? They're nice on the round table. Pay attention, people, and wake up. If all tell you wake up, pay attention. Mr. Trump has to hand this throne over to Obama. What he's doing right now is something that has been scheduled to be done. There's no Democrat or Republicans, people. There's only the beast system in operation right now. It must be done. Right now, there's nothing called a constitution. We are living in lawless times because the Bible tells us so. But more so, the Almighty has told us so. It's a time of lawlessness upon the earth. Lawlessness in the ICS and you can see a case of lawlessness is popping up. I mean, it's a year to horse, so we galloping real fast. So by the time tomorrow I tell you all one thing is going to happen by Wednesday, I'm just telling you. So just don't wake up, pay attention, people. Everything that has been done under an agenda. And the players that are at hand at the moment are just part of the program. They're just players. They didn't make up the story or created this event. They are placed to perform and function in the various agendas that have been placed. So therefore, what we are looking at is what do we do as a people? Because all that matters at this time is our people. Where do we go to? Where do we run to? Where do we hide? Could we really do it? No, we can't. So it gave us a stronger feeling and mindset as a people to get together. It is a case of gather yourself together. So what we are seeing happening is a case of us watching for ourselves, our people. You see, just how we are staying out of the big Minneapolis barbecue down there, Yes, we have to stay out because we now, while they're crying, weeping, and mourning, we have to come together in unification. We're getting a time where we as a Black people can say, listen, let them cry, it's their time now. But our time is to gather ourselves together in unity because we have to be our brother's keepers. We have to be wherever we go and place, just in case we have to come. So hence the reason that this movement of the people is going to happen. That too is inevitable. The separation is necessary because we were taken on ships against our will and we have to return. This time we will return in glory, in fineness. In a matter of fact, we're going back in luxury ships that they built. We are going to live in houses that they built. And we have vineyards that was not built by our hands because we have returned to the Almighty. And we have to return. Every faith have to find their fig tree. There's going to come a time, and it will be sad to say you're leaving, but the authorities at B will round up everyone who was not born here. They're starting with that first, and they have to leave. And that have nothing to do with green card or citizenship. You was not born here. Wait for the time, people. It may seem bad, it may seem dread because, we will miss our friends, our brothers and sisters. But all the same, I will say, I'm going to prepare a place for you somewhere in Ghana, money. But to keep it real, we will see a time coming because we have to have the introduction of the mark of the beast. It was written, it was told, a prophecy must be fulfilled. It's a chip in your arm, a chip in your forehead, whereby man can trade, buy and sell. It's coming to a town near you very soon. But for those who may want to kick up a fuss, this special cleansing here is let you know of the make America great again. It's a situation where we are going to be taken back in pre-slavery time. So we really see how great again that could be. But a time is coming, like one that we have never seen before. It's quite biblical, and we have entered into a time. If you have noticed, for some of us who watch videos or follow, let's say the dark web, some of us are we twisted, like my friends. You will even see creatures that are coming upon the earth that you have never seen before. Creatures are being photographed and filmed and documented that we thought was just mythical creatures. Creatures like a horse with wings. We just think that was just like fairy tale. We wondered, is it real? But there are sightings of strange creatures. They are just popping up from all over the place. Now, we are thinking strange, but it's not strange that we are seeing these creatures now. We have often spoke of the veil being thinned, and the veil, I think, right now is broken. But for those of us who don't understand the veil, and for those of us who just open your mouth and talk about the veil and have no knowledge about what they're talking about, let's take a 2 minutes here for education. What we are seeing now has always been. The reason that we are seeing these things is because we have been elevated to a higher vibration. Think about an onion. If you cut an onion, you see layers and layers of layers. But that's the very same onion, isn't it? So we have existed on, let's say, one layer. And now we have raised our vibration, we are seeking higher things, which is the truth we are seeking really, because too much BS has passed by us over the years, and we get to realize all of this watered down information doesn't make sense. We are seeking the truth, authentic truth. So we have raised our vibration, so seeking. And in seeking truth, you can only find it when you seek the Almighty. Because he said, if you seek for me and you look for me, you'll find me. And there's only one truth, just one. There's some twisted version of the truth, but eventually we have to trickle down to just one. Like it or not, one. We who have lifted our vibration or now existed in the 5D, we are seeing things that has always been here. But we were unable to see it because our focus has not been there. But now that our focus has been there and we are elevating, we are now entering into a new phase, a new realm, whereby we are seeing things. We might see a pink shark, but that shark has always been there and has always been pink. But within those realms and within those dimensions, we are going to see strange things or different things, really. Strange to us, but things that have always been here. Because anything that you see in the movies or anything that you have seen in a drawing or a picture, in a statue, think about it well. Now, my mom, who did not go to university, but have sent me, of course, because she needed something to boast about. My mom had such a great wisdom. It was amazing. I watched a movie one time, and she said to me, everything that you see in the movie is real because somebody has seen it before and decided to focus on it and bring it in a movie to help us understand that these things do exist. And believe me, that's the truth. So when you think of a unicorn, and you think that was in a movie, of Pocahontas or one of those childhood movies, or Fantasia, one of those movies, or whatever childhood movies, the unicorn is a creature that do exist. But we do not see it in this realm because it doesn't exist in this realm. We see horses and donkeys and bisons and goats on this realm. But the unicorn is a mythical creature that do exist. And now there's sightings of this creature. So we are seeing things are happening upon the earth that are quite confusing and different. But it's a case where we have entered into a new realm. So we have to now try to understand how do we keep a balance between our human self and our spiritual self. So this too is a made for madness movie because we are now existing within a realm that's quite foreign to us, and we are using our human self to interpret this realm. It cannot happen. So I stray all into the spiritual to help you understand Mr. Trump. What Mr. Trump is doing right now has to be done. And he was simply selected for that madness, which, of course, in his family, the very thing runs. And we see a case where it's almost like if you think what he's doing now, wait until later on when he goes rogue on them. Because 2026, which since 2025, I was telling you I'll wait till 2026 comes. Some things I cannot tell you yet. But 2026, we will experience a lot of lawlessness. Lawlessness. Yes. In all aspects. I mean, all aspects. There would be cases of very lewd behavior, particularly by women. Things, let's say, that were done behind closed doors will be quite exposed. So we see a time where we have to try to cope with a situation. We have to cope with life happening differently. We are seeing it start with white people trying to adjust to the fact why are they being killed by their own. But there are going to be a lot of other strange happenings which we've been struggling for answers or reasonings. There, 2026 is going to provide for us many events that cannot be analyzed by the regular human, by the human brain thinking in a human sort of way. So here we are in 2026. welcome to 2026, where you will entertain some strange things, but you have to come to acceptance of knowing these things has always been among us and has always been there. So we are, or we have to adjust very quickly because the year of the horse, as I mentioned earlier on. And what does a horse do? He gallops, most times at speed, because you see a car is measured in your mind is like horsepower. So we are seeing and try to wrap our brains around what a horse does and the power of a horse and the speed at which things are going to be moving at. We have to try to accept this as best as possible, knowing that there's no way we can return to the calmness of which we once enjoyed. It's going to be a very chaotic year for us, 2026, but it's going to be a year for us whereby pay attention. Just pay attention. Because not to say all that glitter is not cool, I don't want to use that, but really just to say wake up, but not just wake up, but understand, overstand, and understand that you have now waken up in a different place. You're no longer in your own bed. You wake up, yes, but this bedroom is not yours. So you have to learn what's happening, the dimensions, you have to learn the atmosphere of the room. So we are at a stage where, with eyes wide open, we have to learn to grasp the atmosphere of a room. As I mentioned earlier on, all the people who are living on the earth and among us are not human. And this year, it is going to be revealed to us in more ways than one. The people who are human and the people who are not. In a matter of fact, shapeshifters right now are finding a hard time trying to maintain themselves. They're falling all over the place. I saw a video recently somewhere in Parliament, in a country, I wish I'm not going to call right now, but it was the YT people, and about three of the parliamentarian officers, they shift. This was Parliament, it's like a C-SPAN sort of situation, and three of them shift. Now, my friend sent me the video. I want to believe it's a situation in England or one of those places. But what was explained to us, so we have this little group where we chat. Anytime the emotion is heightened in any way, and they are placed in a kind of back against the wall situation, a shapeshifter can come out of himself. It's not just the slant eyes. I'm talking beasts, because this is where we are right now. It was a case where shapeshifting had been introduced to us, and we saw people from Hollywood with the slant eyes, and it will come on for 3 seconds and disappear. You have to look really carefully. But now they are shape-shifting and unable to fit themselves back into their human form, and they are staying 5, 6 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe half an hour, and you are now wondering what is going on. But this is what happened with us, happening with us, and it's quite strange. It's 2026, all right. And what we see, because I was sure today we are doing the Minneapolis situation, and we are seeing the killing of a young man who was, let's say innocently killed because ICE agents came to clean up the place. What we are seeing, however, is the uncontrollable situation of white people killing themselves. And this is a question that they're finding very difficult to deal with because they do not know what to do. So our program this evening, for my wonderful listening audience, this is the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, Local 26 Woman Auxiliary, with your host, Sadi Gomez, and we coming to you live and alive. And all my million listening audience, I want to say greetings to you all. Stay on the right side of the talk, keep on listening, keep on doing what you do best. And this program as well, we have a relaxed time where we like to boast of our musicians. That's our musicians of the Local 26. They often bring us something that they have because they entertain us in that way. Our musicians, however, in the month of April, they go and have a talent search, which information is going to be published on this show. We are going to be giving out flyers in the area of Harlem for interested people, and you will have your rehearsals on this show and at another location as well.
Blessings and greetings. At this time, we always do a little entertainment, so I would love to do a song this moment. Yes. Blessings and greetings again. Yes, I'm Peter Shadow, aka Majestical Son, original Kingston, Spanish Town countryman. Ancient man of Iration. Sooner than soon, sooner than soon. The coming of Christ is sooner than soon. You hear? Sooner than soon, yes, sooner than soon. Coming of Jah is sooner than soon. I see the rich with the money want to live on the moon. In a me kitchen pot gone lip spoon. See all the dead all a run out of tomb. The rich and the wizard run gone left them room. Tebe yal dash my lamp powder wanna sing a new tune. Sooner than soon, yes, sooner than soon. The coming of Christ is sooner than soon, yes, sooner than soon, man, sooner than soon. The coming of the Lord is sooner than soon. I sing, I'll see the rich with the money, want to live on the moon. In a me kitchen pot, gone left spoon. Me see all the dead all a run out of tomb. When the rich and them, yow, sooner than soon, yes, sooner than soon. The coming of Christ is sooner than soon, yes, sooner than soon, yes, sooner than soon. Coming of the Lord is sooner than soon. As the rich with the money want to live on the moon. In a me kitchen pot gone lip spoon. See all the dead all a run out of tomb. The rich and the start one gone left them broom. Tibby all that them island powder wanna sing a new tune. Sooner than soon, yes, sooner than soon. Coming up crisis sooner than soon. Not than soon, yes, sooner than soon. Coming of the Lord is sooner than soon, yes, sooner than soon, man, sooner than soon. Coming of Christ is sooner than soon. And it's the rich with the money, want to live on the moon. In a me kitchen, pot gone lip spoon. See all the dead all a run out of tomb. The witch and we start run gone left them room. Say, be all dash from island powder, wanna sing a new tune. You what the new tune said? Sooner than soon, sooner than soon. Coming up crisis sooner than soon, yes, sooner than soon, sooner than soon. Coming up crisis sooner than soon. Yeah, next June. New World Constitution. Equal rights and justice to each and everyone. We want a New World Constitution. You hear? New World Constitution. Equal rights and justice to each and everyone. We want a New World Constitution. All right. Amendment 1. Freedom of speech and movements on the land to each and everyone. And Amendment 2. Love and respect all your neighbor for true. And Amendment 3. Education and power one we want that for free. And Amendment 4. The old and the age and the infant secure. Old and the age and the infant secure. Old and age and infant secure. Old and the age and the infant secure. This is a new world constitution. Equal Blessings and blessings and more blessings again. There was an interruption, you know, an interruption. That was a small interruption. I was in the middle of a song. Yes, that's one of my new songs coming out. New World Constitution. You know, we need a new world constitution that, you know, protects the black people and the black nation. And even only black, the poor and the less destitute nation of the world, you know? Yeah, definitely. You need to look out for all these people who no one remember, you know? Yes. New World Constitution, man. Really and truly. We need all these things to help humanity and to secure humanity, you know? Well, I could do an next tune. Now turn back, you know. We now look back. Mama Africa, we final stop, you know. Now look back, you know. We now turn back. Mama Africa, we final stop, you know. Now look back, you know. We now turn back, you know. Mama Africa, we final stop, you know. We now look back, you know. Now turn back. Mama Africa, we final. Colonialism, it no cater for the blacks, you know. Trap we in the slavery, get rich out of we sweat, you know. Them born with school, born with church, try to hide with history. Take them last week in the West, when we find we home free. Jordan, Nile, and the Red Sea are the place where the gods wanna be. Are the place of my victory. Are the place where the gods want to be. Are the place of my victory. So me now look back, you know. Now turn back, you know. Oh, Mama Africa, we final stop, you know. Now look back, you know. Now turn back, you know. Oh, Mama Africa, we final stop, you know. Now look back, you know. Now turn back, Mama Africa, we final stop. We tired of them trick and them trap. Dragnet stumbling block. We tired of them trick and them trap. Hey, dragnet stumbling block. We tired of them pit and them trap. Dragnet stumbling block. That's why me tell you, say me nah look back, you know. Nah turn back, Mama Africa, we final stop, you know. We nah look back, you know. We nah turn back, Mama Africa, we final stop, you know. We nah look back, you know. We nah turn back, Mama Africa, we final stop, you know. We nah look back, you know. We nah turn back, Mama Africa, we final. Colonialism, it no cater for the blacks, you know. Trap it in a slavery, get rich out of we sweat, you know. And born with school, born with church, try to hide with history. Think them last week in the West, but we find we home free. Jordan, Nile, and the Red Sea are the place where the gods want to be. That's the place of my victory. Are the place where the gods wanna be. Are the place of my victory. So we now look back, you know, we now turn back. Mama Africa, we final stop, you know. We now look back, you know. We now turn back. Mama Africa, we final stop, you know. We now look back, you know. We now turn back. Mama Africa, we final stop, you know. We now look back, you know. We now turn back. Mama Africa, we final stop, you know. We now look back, you know. We now turn back. Mama Africa, we final. Colonialism, it no cater with the blacks, you know. Trap it in a slavery, get rich out of sweat, you know. Them born with school, born with church, try to hide with history. Think them last week in the West, but we find we home free. Jordan, Nile, and the Red Sea. That's the place where the gods want to be. That's the place of my victory. That's the place where the gods wanna be. That's the place of my victory. So me now look back, you know, now turn back. Mama Africa, we final stop, you know, we now look back, you know, we now turn back. Mama Africa, we final stop, you know, we now look back, you know, we now turn back. Mama Africa, we final stop, you know, we now look, you know, we now turn back. Mama Africa, we final stop. Yeah, another tune again. I don't want to have to make you guys wood and stone to praise you, Jah. I don't want to have to make you guys wood and stone, no way. I don't want to have to make you guys wood and stone to praise you, Lord. I don't want to have to make you guys wood and stone, no way. Burn out all carnal weaknesses, burn out all impurities. Only let love come from this heart of mine. Only let truth speak by these lips of mine. I don't wanna have to beg you by wood and stone to praise you, child. I don't wanna have to make you by wood and stone, no way. Oh, I don't wanna have to make you by wood and stone to praise you, Lord. I don't wanna have to make you by wood and stone, no way. Burn out all carnal weaknesses. Burn out all impurities. Only let love come from this heart of mine. Only let truth speak by these lips of mine.
Hey, Charlie. Charlie, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Well, the aliens took me because I was telling you all about their business and everything. But the fact that I'm far from home, I forgot my charger and my phone just went out on me. So we're not gonna have too much more talk. I am happy that the musicians are here. If they're gonna take us out in the song, and we're gonna wrap it up early because I'm doing 3%. Just found my a charger and our wonderful evening. I want to thank each and everyone who came out this evening to join us. And I want a special thanks to Alex Pretty, who they had to show as an example for us to really understand the sound of the trumpet. So let us have fun in understanding that some of the pressures of life has been alleviated from us melanated folks, and we're going to see a different type of day. Let's just say it's a new day dawning. And as usual, your host would like to bring love to you, bring information, but somehow I'm running at a low, low 3%, and I want to close off with a good night and many kisses. So I want to ask our musician to please give us a song and take us out. Charlie, we're going to just run this type of evening. So at this time, this is Sadie Gomez of Ethiopian World Federation. Thanking you so much for coming out this evening. And we'll have a musician give us a sound to take us out. And Charlie, my engineer, thank you for your wonderful work. And for everyone out there, please stay warm and one love. Bye bye.
Let me
So
praise
we'll
to
have
whom all praise our due is the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated. Woman Auxiliary presents Empress Sadie Saunders.